So I did my project on Alzheimer's disease. This disease is an age-related, non-reversible neurological disorder that develops over a long period of time. It's most common in older people, usually over the age of 60. Most people know about Alzheimer's disease. They know the basics, which are that it's the most common form of dementia. It leads to memory loss. It affects the areas of the brain that are involved in decision-making and language skills, as well as recognition of family and friends. It also affects the person's overall temperament. I know my grandfather had dementia, and not only did he have trouble remembering things, but he also was very on edge a lot of the time, where he could completely change his mood, basically at the flip of a coin. So it affects that as well. Alzheimer's is the 6th leading cause of death in the U.S. Researchers have found risk factors that come along with this. It's not necessarily just genetic. It can also be related to heart disease or stroke, high blood pressure, or cholesterol. So our habits, our daily habits, and even our environment can definitely affect our likelihood to get this disease. Overall, though, the cause of the disorder is unknown. We don't really know exactly what causes it because it's not just one main thing. To be specific about how it progresses, the disease spreads through neurons and other cells, which actually causes the brain to shrink. A lot of the cells, they actually change shape, and the shape changing is actually what causes a lot of brain damage and the memory loss. Not only that, but brain tissue under the microscopic level can be seen to have a buildup of plaque formed from beta amyloid, a protein. So this plaque is responsible for death and damage of brain cells because it interrupts cell-to-cell communication, which is obviously vital for us to communicate and to just go about our daily lives, because if we don't have that uninterrupted communication between our cells, our neurons, within our brain, then we can't function as we normally would. Today's treatment really only consists of just treatment. There is no cure for Alzheimer's disease. There are some ways to slow its progression, such as taking drugs like Aricept or Exelon. They basically aid in slowing the effects of Alzheimer's, such as the way you're thinking and your memory and even your speech. But it mainly they just aim to improve the quality of life for Alzheimer's patients. Actually, a recent biomedical research experiment has mapped out the pathway of synaptic transmitters and proteins in the brain through the use of biomarkers. One protein that is abundant in cerebral spinal fluid in Alzheimer's patients is neurogranin. The researchers aim to see basically how much of this protein is present in cerebrospinal fluid in Alzheimer's patients, because they wanted to know what its role was in Alzheimer's. And so through this experiment, they realized that the protein was increased in Alzheimer's patients rather than healthy control patients. So with all of this, I found that for future research, one of the most recent, even 2015 research that we have today, according to Progress for Alzheimer's Disease Cures or Treatment, is found at NYU. They have developed specialized antibodies that are able to target proteins that change shape and proteins that trigger the buildup of beta amyloid plaque that is present in Alzheimer's patients and even other neurological diseases. These researchers hope that these antibodies may serve as the blueprint for the future treatments or possible cures for Alzheimer's. The way that this possible protein can help change the shape of these proteins from becoming toxic and triggering these plaques, provides a lot of hope for the future in Alzheimer's research.